Michael Todd is the arm wrestler who used to give really good fights to Denis Seplenkov, to Andrei Pushkar, to Dmitry Trubin, to Devon Lett, to all of the legends in arm wrestling. But what has happened to Michael Todd now that he cannot win even a single match in last 3 super matches? So welcome to the video, arm wrestling fans. I'm Pradeep from Arm Wrestling News. In this video we are going to discuss why Michael Todd lost all of his recent matches, the reasons that I can think of or come up with my imagination. So bear with me. Michael has always been the guy who hates losing. He has said countless times that his disgust for losing always outweighs his will to win. So he hates losing, but right now we are seeing him lose gracefully with a smile on his face for the last 3 super matches. May 2021 Devon Lett, February 2022 Gennady, and now a couple of days ago against Revaz Lutidze. So why has that happened that even after Michael's loss, he's not really angry like he used to be even when he won against Jerry Caderet? So what has happened to Michael Todd now? I think at your core, you can never change yourself. Michael is still the guy who absolutely hates losing. Like every elite arm wrestler should be. They should hate losing. But right now, I don't know why he's pretending that he's kind of happy. He's kind of okay with the losses as well. And he's going to continue forward in this journey. Not the losing journey, but his journey in arm wrestling, doing great things in arm wrestling. But I don't think that is true. That laugh, that smile on his face, I would assume it is for the outer world only. He still wants to be one of the best in the world. So reason number 1 why Michael Todd is losing right now: riser and pronation. Michael Todd's riser and pronation have never been the same since last 1 year, since he got COVID. And sometimes when you sign up for a super match, you are under kind of an obligation to say that you are the best version of yourself that you have ever been. But that is not necessarily the truth. Michael always says before the match that his riser and pronation are back 100% and he is feeling the strongest that he has ever felt. But you just cannot go into a super match saying that you are not feeling well, you may not win. Nobody does that. There is a risk of not being invited once again or not making the match really hype up to next levels if you say those kind of things. So I think that was the reason. Michael's riser and pronation, I don't think they are back at 100%. The reason, I don't know. Reason number 2 would be regular 7-inch pads. All of last 3 of Michael's losses are on regular 7x7 pads. And when he defeated Devon in WL 2018, it was on 7x9 WL pad. So why does that pad matter so much? For the Kings movers, I think it matters more than anyone else. I can give you a simple example and you do not need to be an expert to understand this. So when you're trying to press a Kings mover like this, a flop press, on a 7x7 pad, they can only drag back so much. So when you can get completely on top of that arm or behind your shoulder, like Revaz Lutidze did against Michael Todd. But when the pad is 9 inches long, the guy who is pressing you gets separated like this towards the other side, and pressing like this is much harder than pressing like this. So this is the main reason. Just because Michael Todd was able to drag 2 inches back, he was able to beat guys that he wouldn't beat on a regular 7x7 pad. Now there is an argument that Michael Todd pinned Andrei Pushkar, Denis Seplenkov, Dmitry Trubin, all of them. But the truth is that he lost to all of them. So he did not beat them. It was not a tournament where you get 1 pin and you win. It was a 6-round super match and Michael Todd lost all of those matches. And I believe if those matches, 2 matches in 2016 against Trubin and Denis and 2017 against Andrei Pushkar, I think if those matches were on a WL 7x9 pad, I think Michael would have won all 3 of those matches, maybe 4 pins to 2. And I think if you even remove the intentional elbow fouling thing from those 3 matches, Michael would have beaten them on 7x7 pads as well, but definitely on a 7x9 WL pad. That is for sure. And the 2018 WL Devon Lett match, I think Michael could have lost that match as well if it was on a regular 7x9 pad, because Michael had those 2 extra inches to drag. It matters a lot. The third thing is endurance that nobody is talking about. Michael Todd used to be someone who was known for his endurance. In 2018, he made Devon Lett gas out in a super match. That has had never happened before in the past. Never, but Michael Todd did that. Michael was known for his endurance. Once the match stopped, it is 100% sure that Michael is bleeding at a slower rate compared to his opponent. but it is not the case right now. You can see that against Gennady, against Revaz Lutidze, all of these rounds in those matches stopped. They stopped for a very long time, more than a minute also. But Michael was not able to bleed his opponents. He himself looked more tired compared to his opponent. So I don't know what has happened to Michael's endurance, but it is not the same that it used to be. I cannot see how Revaz Lutidze or Gennady Quickvinia have a better endurance than Devon Laet or Michael Todd. But right now they seem to have a better endurance than Michael. So something is off with Michael's endurance as well. The solution that I've talked about in the past as well many times, Michael needs to have a super match against Dave Chaffee on 7x9 or 7x7 any pads, because Michael used to defeat Dave on both of the pads. So if Michael is still able to beat Dave Chaffee, it means that it is something about the opponents. Maybe they have figured it out how to beat the king's move, or everyone is evolving, Michael is not evolving. But if Michael is not able to beat Dave Chaffee, which I doubt he can right now, then it means there is something wrong with Michael Todd. He needs to change something in his training or some medication. I don't know. I do not have the solutions, but I do have the solution to figure it out if it is something wrong with Michael's training, Michael's hand, or it has something to do with the opponents. Just have a match against Dave Chaffee, and if you're able to beat him, then it is good for you. You need to change your training or something. I don't know. That is it for this video. Subscribe to the channel. My name is Pradeep, and I thank you so much for watching.